Thank you very much. And how do you start after Noeline? How can I cannot go any better than what Noeline has set the pace at, but a very good morning from Suva, Dabai Namuna, Maori, everyone. So honored to be part of this conversation where we're trying to highlight things rather than sweeping them under the mat. It's raising, spotlighting some of these issues where we're so used to reserving them. Let's have a conversation about it later on. I wanted to talk about the issue of some of the other work that Youngsolwara and Pang does with some of the indigenous groups, but some of our territories that are still under colonial rule. But I thought it was really important in lead up to COP is to bring it back to this part of the region and focus more on the ocean. Over the years, we've had conversations around how we see our region, but we are really at a crucial time. The Pacific is heavily contested. We've had numerous meetings between our Pacific leaders and other external partners. We've had numerous visits by our sheriffs from the region, i.e. Australia and New Zealand. Once we had new governments, we saw foreign ministers travel in and out. Recently, our leaders met with the US president. There is now a call for South Korea to have a meeting with our leaders from the region. Also noting, we also have the Palm Summit. So these are increasing conversations that our leaders seem to be engaging with, being invited to, and it really tells you about, it gives a very clear picture about the geopolitics at play and how this region has the greatest interest, or rather is heavily contested. There's this whole battle with China in the Pacific as well. But as we move on as a region, and more interestingly, there is this growing interest in our ocean and its resources. Over the years, we've been seen as these smaller, fragile island states, submerging states. Yes, we are. And then we're also known as these large ocean states. Draw us back to history. This region has come through some really, really brutal, bloody crisis. A region that has continuously been seen as a testing ground, one that has gone through the likes of nuclear testing. We were seen as this vast ocean that could soak up anything. So yeah, it was fair enough to do nuclear testing in some of our islands then under colonial rule, namely the Marshall Islands, Mororua in Maui Nui, French-occupied Polynesia, and Kiritimati Island in Kiribati. These states then, were under colonial rule and had experienced that vast impact. Yet, to this date, whereas independent states, our people are still debating and still negotiating compensation. Many had gone through nuclear testing those times. Many were displaced, taken off their islands, such as the Runit Dome. Fast forward today, we're in a crisis where we're told our ocean has vast resources, where we need to mine these resources to respond to climate change. We need to assist this global push for green revolution. Also after COVID, we have so many narratives arising, such as your ocean resources could, resurrect or revive some of your economies after the whole lockdown. And again, everything's just made reference to this vast blue continent. We're at a very crucial time where our oceans are currently a threat.